Hello everyone. Our title is Towards Developing a Methodology to Stem the Tide of Fake News. I am Kiran Kumar Bandeli and my co-researchers are Muhammad Nihal Hussain, Samir Al-Khatib and Nitin Agarwal. So we are part of research group called Cosmos, Center of Social Media and Online Behavioral Studies. We are from Department of Information Science from University of Arkansas at Little Rock. So talking about fake news, so these days knowing what is factually correct is very hard given the barrage of biased, controversy, satirical, conspiracy theory riddle stories that spread along social media. To add on to this, even information deluge on social media channel becomes very tough to stem this tide or the flow of misinformation or disinformation. And also when echo chambers are created, and these are very quickly emergent on social media, it becomes a kind of envelope and surrounds itself, making the problem even worse. So what do? So we plan to analyze the data set that was provided by SBP-BRiMS, and this is part of 2017 data challenge. So we looked at the data set and we wanted to perform an exploratory analysis from our side, and at the same time see if we can come up with a methodology based on our observations and heuristics. So talking about social media, since information dissemination is kind of spread with misinformation and disinformation, it becomes very hard for us to study these tactics or strategies or procedures in which the information is disseminated. So we wanted to come up with some kind of tactics or techniques or procedures that can stem this tide of misinformation or disinformation. So as process to that, we have applied off-the-shelf tools like TouchGraph, Mallet, LIWC, which stands for Linguistic Inquiry and Word Count, and also Alchemy API to study the problem so that we can do a deep dive into this, and later on we present the empirical observations that we had and we suggest the heuristic measures that we can follow to stem this tide. So as part of observations, we first analyzed to see if we can do some reverse image search. So the easiest way to do this is all you need to do is just get the image URL, and we were provided from the data set and we were lucky there. So all you have to do is take that image, go to Google search with the image on and do a search to see if that image was used with different narrative. So for this image, in this picture, you would see that this image was used in different social media websites, and the dates that marked here were way back to 2012 or 11. So which means the same image was used here for this event with the motive of spreading a different kind of misinformation or misleading users with a different narrative. So that's our example 1. So we're going to see in example 2, we see a post, how it is disseminated along different channels. So we give you an example here that shows a mixed media approach, which is nothing but information that is disseminated along different social media channels. So you can see the post here, and this picture is representing the post that we have taken, and this is coming from abcnews.com, and this is spread along different channels that you can see here. So which is a mixed media approach to disseminate information just to mislead the end users. And also coming to next step, we have referred to the contact information of the website author. So what we have noticed with these fake related stories or sites is if you go to that website that was taken and search for contact us just to see you get that contact information of the author. So as soon as you click on the link, you are redirected to a different website altogether. And this information, the information that is provided on the new website is in no match with the author that is present in the original story or the website. So this gives you some kind of pointers to search for fake related stories, because the contact information on websites, generally authors do mention their information, for example like email, their phone number to contact, or their Twitter handle, or some information that you can reach to the author. In these sites you would see that nothing will happen there. For example, if you go to this site, even if you click on the contact information, nothing happens. You are altogether taken to a different site. That shows some kind of approach of fake stories. Then we have analyzed or explored on domain names. So we wanted to take the website names and put it into a tool called LIWC, which stands for Linguistic Inquiry and Word Count. So we split the domain names according to meaningful, sensible words, and we split the words, and these are the different domain names that we have taken. And the feature that we wanted to test in LIWC was effect, which is again two types: positive emotion and negative emotion. In negative emotion, you have three categories again, which stands for anxiety, anger, and sadness. So we wanted to see how these domain names are affected either positively or negatively. So for all these domain names that you have here, you see that negative emotion is more. So what can we make out of these domain names? These show that they are highly either opinionated or they clearly indicate bias. So if you observe closely the words that are used to form the domain names, they contain a lot of polarizing words. Okay? So after this, we have performed some statistical analysis on the data set that was provided. So we looked at the attributes like comments, likes, and replies count. So for all these attributes, since the total number of posts was close to 13,000, so we observed that these attributes had 0 values in almost like in percentages, they were like more than 95. So which indicate that these 0 values indicate for majority of the posts that they are just disseminated without any nature of factualness. So people are not commenting on it, they are not replying on it, they are not even liking it. So this indicates a clear misleading nature of these posts, so that they can disseminate their information or propaganda. So based on these observations, the heuristic measures, we have proposed a methodology which is a 10-step process, in which you can see we have highlighted all different kinds of steps that we were able to observe into a picture here. So which says we have analyzed domain names, then we have looked at the contact information of the authors, then we have looked at the reverse image search methods, then we have looked at mixed media approaches, then we have done something on sentimental analysis. And also, to add on to this, it is always good if you can fact check these things, these stories which are potentially fake stories, with fact checking websites like Snoops, which are a good source for ground truth. So this is our methodology. So far we were able to test on the data set that was provided, and it works well. And we plan to, the next step in this process is to analyze more posts from the net, or I would say more blog posts from blogs. So we depended on subject matter experts that help us knowing which are the ones that we might need to look for fake related stories. So we got like 57 blogs, and we have crawled all of them to our database, and we plan to explore more on our application, which is block trackers, and we have features here that help us validate our methodology, at the same time detect if something is fake or not. So we also acknowledge our funding agencies, which are NSF, Office of Naval Research, Air Force Research Lab, Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, Jerry Malden Energy Fund at University of Arkansas Little Rock, and all these findings that we did are purely in interest of us. They do not reflect the views of the funding agencies. With this, I conclude my topic. Thank you so much.